make sure one that we are recording. So welcome to tonight's YOLO event. We do this call every Monday. We've got some exciting things happening in September for some events. So thanks for joining us, everybody. And I always love having this amazing woman on. But before I bring her on, I just want to make the announcement. I put the link in the chat. And we are going for it. We're going big. No go big, go home. We're just going big. So we are going to be sponsoring a huge event in January. And the people that have already confirmed to be at the event, it's normally our Las Vegas boot camp. We're calling it Las Vegas Level Up. The people we have confirmed already as speakers are not Jay Martin yet. We have Stuart, who's the new CEO for our company. We have Tamara Sachs, Mitra Ray, Cheryl Cortese, Jeff Roberti, Elizabeth Schulke, Simon Bowler, and many people that we're going to be talking about it tomorrow. So we're going to be doing it live here with 250 people. And then we're also doing it virtually in 6 different languages. And also, obviously English, and it's only $59 to do it virtually, or 2 tickets for $100. I put the link up. We're hoping to have at least 10,000 people on the event. That's our goal. We're doing a global Gimme Awards. Cheryl Cortese, she's letting us do it so that we're going to offer it to everybody. Sidelines, everybody's going to have the opportunity to be part of the Gimmes and win and be nominated. So it's our chance to really acknowledge everybody around the world, no matter whose organization they are part of. So super excited about that. So if you want to know more, I would encourage you to get that before. I can't open it. Judy's not opening. Trying to open the bio.
Okay, I'll copy it and just paste it.
Okay. And so anyway, we're going to be doing that in January. And so super excited for all of you to be a part of it. And that I know that I appreciate Christy, who's working on this with me. We've got a lot of other people that are working. Christy's going to be the MC for the first night for our doctors portion. So she's awesome at asking questions for doctors. We'll be doing a doctors panel, as well as we'll be hosting, we'll have one of the doctors speaking as well. So anyway, we are going to introduce my dear friend, who I just really respect her immensely. And Judy Strickler is a Kansas farmer's daughter and former RN. She has 25 years of nursing career, including medical and surgical, and NICU, pediatrics, sports medicine, hospice, home care, private duty, and home nursing. She is a nationally renowned speaker with 35 years of research in prevention and alternative healing methods. She left the sickness industry to join the wellness industry in 1997 after being introduced to Juice Plus. She finally found a safe place to share knowledge that she had acquired of how the body was created to heal itself when it's given proper care. Oh my gosh, it gives me goosebumps just reading it. Today, she's proactive as a true health advocate, involved in health coaching and teaching whole food, plant-based cooking classes, and she is currently a wellness coordinator for several physicians, which I think is really interesting because I know a lot of you have questions about that. Daryl is involved with agriculture all of his life and is a full-time salesperson with Compass Minerals. He is a senior sales coordinator with Juice Plus, and they have been married for 44 years, have 4 children and 4 children in loves with 6 grandchildren, and I know a new one on its way. She's a national marketing director. She's been an NMD since 2003 and has 4-time nominee for the Elton Awards. And I just adore her. Every time I'm with her, we just laugh and we talk and we create. So thank you so much for joining everybody today, Judy. So 2001, 2003 in NMD. Amazing. Your husband is the senior sales coordinator. So I'm going to let you just go. Whatever you want to share, I want to hear. How about that?
All right. All right, that sounds great. Looking forward to it. I still remember the night that we got the call from Daryl's mom saying that his sister, 21 years old, had died from cancer. And I remember laying my hand on my belly as I was carrying Keisha, our second child, who was going to be born shortly. And I just prayed, dear God, please teach me how to take care of my children. I did not want to bury one of my children ever. And so he did that. He really did that. What he did is started showing me how it's important to go back to nature. I believe being healthy is an ultimate rebellion in the sick, diseased, and dysfunctional society. The choices we make have a profound impact on our health status. So, like she said, I was a Kansas farmer's daughter, and we spent a lot of time working. We worked very hard outside. I remember we grew almost all of our own food. I grew up without a TV, without a bathroom, without all of the necessities that we think are necessary now. But we had love. There was 5 children in our family, and our parents, and it was just wonderful. The garden, I learned how to garden as a very young child, and how to prepare for the winter and put up all of our own food. And I have to tell you, we were rarely sick. And I also had grandmothers who were very interested in health. And I wish that I would have known them now, or they'd be alive now, so that I could ask them questions, because I found out after one of my grandmothers died that she used to go to a healing resort. She went to a health spa, and I was like, serious? And what did they do there? I wonder what that was all about. My other grandma lived right next door to us, practically a half a mile. Well, that's next door in those days. And I remember walking down there, and she'd always associate food with a disease or a health. She'd say, don't forget to eat your carrots because they're good for your eyes. And don't forget to eat your rhubarb. That'll make you go to the bathroom. And you got to do that every day. And that's how I grew up. I knew different foods that were associated with different organs of the body. So I remember my parents always talking about stewardship in church, time, treasure, talent, giving that to God. But I never heard much about temple stewardship. And to me, that was so important. And I think that's part that we kind of left out. So when I became a nurse, I always wanted to be a nurse. And I thought I was going to be teaching other people how to keep themselves well. That's what I thought nursing was about. Well, that didn't really happen. I felt like I was doing more harm than good many times, from the newborn intensive care to hospice. What a stretch of practice there, to school nursing. That's what was the end of my nursing career, was in school nursing. So what I saw is that we use drugs and chemotherapy and surgery and other things. We didn't sit down and say, you need to eat more plants. You need to eat more of this food to help this problem. So I thought, what am I going to do? There is a time and a place for drugs, don't get me wrong, but there's so much abuse now. Every time somebody has an ailment, they go to the grocery store or drugstore and get something to stop the body trying to clean itself out. If you have diarrhea, your body's saying, I got to get rid of something. If you're vomiting, your body's saying, I got to get rid of something. Okay? The symptoms of the disease are not the disease itself, but they're just symptoms. They're just showing you what you need to do to change. And so I got really, really interested in finding a way to do that. Now, as a nurse, we had to go get continuing education hours. I got all mine through weird stuff like acupuncture, you name it, massage, everything. That's where I got my CEUs, because I wanted to know different methods of caring for people besides drugs. And so I went back to nature, and, in the Bible, in Genesis 1:29, it says, and God said, behold, I give you every herb bearing seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of the tree yielding seeds, to you it shall be for food. So if you think of that passage, that includes grains, those are seeds, legumes, beans, those are seeds, veggies, they have seeds, fruits have seeds, right? Nuts are seeds, and the seeds themselves. We know that fiber and carbohydrates, good carbohydrates, not the donuts, I'm not talking about that, they feed the good bacteria, creating a healthy microbiome. And your gut has so much to do with your whole health and your whole body, especially even your brain. So you got to really think about what you're putting in your body. Now, I would say, try to say no most of the time to things like sugar and dairy and meat, animal products and alcohol and tobacco, caffeine, genetically modified organisms. I mean, all of those things, your body doesn't really know what to do with them and how to use them. And so a lot of people will say, well, you can eat anything. And I would say, yes, you really can, because God gave us a choice. And all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. You have a choice. You can make a good choice or a bad choice. Remember that sugar, animal proteins, and fats are what feed the harmful bacteria in your gut. So go towards the plants to have more good bacteria than the harmful bacteria. Remember that those things also are very short-lived pleasure. When you eat sugar and drink alcohol or whatever it might be, that food doesn't care what it does to your body. And I tell you that I believe nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. Nothing. I mean, addiction, stress, insomnia, you can't sleep at night. Convenience is not always good. Technology, not always good. Drugs, we talked about that already. My thought was, how can I help people return to the truth? How was I going to get the masses to understand that you got to take care of yourself? And of course, my family, then by now we had 4 children, my husband and I, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because I knew the kids weren't going to eat Brussels sprouts when I'm not sitting there. They're going to have pizza and beer. I've been a kid too. So I thought, how can I bridge that gap? What am I going to do? So I said, I have to do it first. So I went to a fasting resort, fasted 10 days on water. I then started eating just raw food. That didn't work so well. Then I tried to eat plant-based, then vegetarian. I tried to take handfuls of vitamins. I just knew by then that I had to go back to nature. I had to go back to what I did when I was growing up. There's only short compliances with many of those diets out there. And you go back to the SAD diet, the standard American diet. What was I going to do? One day, a PE coach walked into my clinic in Lubbock, Texas, and asked me to listen to a cassette tape. And you know, it was so important to me that guess what? I still have it. This is the tape she gave me, Mitra Ray's Call Me in the Morning. And I thought, I know some of you on here probably don't know what this is. Well, it's a little thing you put in a machine and it talks back to you. But anyway, I said, what is it? She said, it's food in a capsule. I said, oh, no. I had gone that whole round. I was back from the vitamins back to eating food again. And she said, well, I want to take it and you tell me if it's any good. I'm like, out of respect for her, I took it. I listened to it. By the time I got home, 10 minutes later, I knew my family would be on this forever. So you guys have courage. Go talk to everybody. You don't know what their prayer is. You don't know what they're looking for, because this truly was an answer to my prayer. It was a gift from God, and I knew that I would be able to share this with others. So I go back to school the next day. I became a rep immediately, bought everything they had, even funnels and all kinds of crazy stuff. Whatever they had, I bought everything. I was so excited. So nature is whole. It's not parts. That's why we need the plants, not the vitamins or a mineral or whatever it might be. We need the whole thing. So synergy of 1,000 tiny parts, like 7.5 milligrams of vitamin C in an apple, works because there's 12,000 nutrients working with it. It knows what to do. You know, a lot of us talk about macrobiotics, you know, protein, carbohydrates, fat. We don't even think about the microbiotics, the tiny things and all the foods that our body needs. We don't know where it goes or what it needs, but it needs that. And some people will eat a lot of plants or take Juice Plus, say, I don't feel anything. Guess what? You don't feel yourself getting sick right away. And remember, if you're sick, it took a while to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. So don't forget that health is a journey too. It takes a while to get well. Well, to me, Juice Plus was the foundation to a plant-based diet. It was the most convenient, the safest, and the most researched product in the world. You know, you can ask Siri and she'll tell you that. She knows everything. You know that. So what was I going to do? It was a one simple change that was going to bridge the gap. And I was so excited. I started telling everybody I knew. It didn't matter if they liked it, if they understood it. You're still my friend, but I have to tell you, because that's my mission that God has put me on. I have to tell you, I can't decide what you're going to do with the information. So nature is not concerned about how much of one nutrient is needed, but that's synergy. So what's missing in what you're eating? If your food came from a plant, manufactured, maybe not eat so much of that if it's in a bag, box, or can, but go back to eating the real stuff. And thank God we have the Tower Garden so we can even grow our own food now, and even inside of our house. That is such a blessing. So plant food allows us to detoxify at a cellular level. You don't have to take a magic potion to detoxify. Plants do that for you. You just eat the plants and juice the plants, or however, take them in the capsule, the plant powders. It detoxifies your body for you. It balances your immune system, and it protects you against the viruses and the bacteria, decreases chronic inflammation. You know, acute inflammation is good. That gets your body's attention. It's going to start healing. But if you have chronic inflammation, that's not so good. So what are you going to do about that? Well, for me, Juice Plus was the answer. And also, I was excited when they came out with the Children's Health Study. Now, I've been involved with Juice Plus for almost 25 years, as long as I was a nurse, 25 years. But many years back, I don't know, what was it, Lauren, 10, 15 years ago, they started this free Juice Plus for children. Can you imagine? And this is kind of how I like to share it. If you're going to get Juice Plus, I'm not even going to sign you up until you tell me a child's name. Don't waste that $243 or whatever it comes to for 4 years of free gummies or whatever they want to take. Don't waste that. That's for you to share with somebody. That's for you to give like a charity to somebody. You don't mind giving money to charities. This is what you're doing. You're giving free food to children. And if the mom's pregnant, I say that's 3 for the price of 1. And if she's pregnant with twins, what's that? 4 for the price of 1? I can just get crazy about this. I think it's wonderful. We got to get to all the kids, whether they're in utero or if they're born already. So the other program that I really like, what's going on now, is called the Shred 10. For those of us who have tried many different things, 10 days of one special lifestyle is pretty doable. And what you'll find out after 10 days, and that means that you're going to be avoiding things like sugar and gluten and alcohol and caffeine and, you know, stuff like that. But you're going to be adding more plants to your diet. You're going to be taking Juice Plus. You're going to be drinking our wonderful shakes that I think everybody should have at least one a day. And you'll be adding all that nutrition to your body. Your body is going to start craving that food. Remember, metabolic programming, whatever you put in it, it craves. So if you do Starbucks, you crave Starbucks. I just got to have a Starbucks. That's because you've had one every day for the last 10 years. That's why you think you need it. But it's only what you put in you crave. And I remember my children, when they started taking Juice Plus, they started not asking for dessert so much anymore. I mean, the other thing I noticed is that they started eating more fruits and vegetables. And my son was working at Burger King, came home one night, and he was very obese. And he came home one night and he said, I don't like that food at Burger King anymore. He got ready for work the next day and he took a bag of carrots, a bag of lettuce, and a bottle of water. And I was like, are you on drugs? He said, only those you gave me, Mom. That's all only drugs I'm taking. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is so cool. I had no idea that metabolic programming would work with good stuff as well as it did with sugar, heroin, cocaine, whatever you took that caused you to do that. So I was thrilled. The changes I saw in my children, the changes I've seen in many families has really been a blessing to me. And I'm happy that I have been a blessing to them. The intermittent fasting also with the Shred 10 is very important. I believe that you should choose a window of 12 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours, whatever, when you eat. You've got to give your body time to metabolize the food. You've got to assimilate all those nutrients. Give it a rest. It's just amazing the difference you'll feel. So, you know, my mission is to help families heal, not just physically, but financially. I mean, why wouldn't you want to join the mission and help more people than just yourself? You know, I know at Christmas we give gifts to other people. I look at this as Christmas every day. I want to gift other people every day, not just wait for one day or not keep it to myself with my hand closed. The only way you receive gifts back is to open your hand so that you can receive more. And the more you give, the more you receive. That's God's principle. So we need to share with this information with everybody as much as possible. So I'm asking you to please just step up and be a positive influence in this world. And Lord knows we need some positive influence now. We need some happiness. There's so much joy and happiness out there. Thank God for the sunrise. Thank God for the sunset, the beautiful moon we had this week. Look at the good things. Write your own newspaper headlines. I am married to a wonderful man. Thank you, Jesus. I am going to go out today and I'm going to play with my grandchildren. I'm so blessed. Write your own good headlines. So step up, be positive, and remember, health is a journey, so be patient and be patient with others and give them grace. You don't get sick overnight. You don't get well overnight. So Lauren, I just want to thank you for allowing me to share part of my heart with your friends, and I'm happy to do that anytime. And I also am willing to do three-way calls or anybody if they would like me to do that with anybody of their friends or family sometime.
Oh my God, you are so amazing. So many pearls of wisdom that you shared here. And, you know, like you said, Judy, you started in the business. When did you start in the business? I don't even know if you shared.
97.
1997. So what would you say to somebody who's maybe they've been in the business, but they do it like, they really want to do this. They say that they really want to do this business. What would you say to them right now? I mean, with all that, that's going on in the healthcare industry or people with their jobs. I mean, you've seen it through right after 9/11 when there was kind of a slump in the world. You've seen it through when the recession was taking place. You've seen a lot during those times. What would you say to people right now?
I would
just kind of.
Yeah, I would tell them the first thing you do tonight is fire yourself. Just fire yourself. Done with it. Be done with it. I'm just done with this business. Shut the computer down. I'm done. And in the morning, you wake up and hire yourself back and go to the Freedom Revolution. Go to Getting Started and start all over and become a partner first, and then become a partner plus, and then you become a QSC. So go up to all those levels. Just start all over and forget what's there. Take care of that, what you have already. But I'm serious. Don't worry about that. I think so many people are saying nothing's happening. Well, you have only 2 people. What the heck are you going to do with 2 people? They're fine. They're already taking it. Let them go. Go get some more people.
Sure. Awesome. Well, if you don't mind, I'd love to take another 5 minutes and just if anybody has any questions, because I always look forward. I'm so blessed every year when you offer to do this call. Thank you again for offering to do 3 ways. But is there anybody who has a burning question for her or questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
You deal with people. Yeah.
Hey, Judy, that was awesome. This is Christy. I noticed in your intro that Lauren shared that you do the wellness coordinator gig for a lot of your physicians. Can you tell me any tips that you found to make that a very for that not to be like incredibly time consuming, having conversations and follow up with all of those patients and clients?
I like the idea of the doctor giving them a prescription for Juice Plus with my phone number on and then calling me. That makes it pretty simple. If I want you to get on Juice Plus, here's the number to call. And that works really good for me. That's usually
but what about after you have them signed up? Do you put them in a Facebook group, or how do you do the follow up with them?
I put them on our regular customer Facebook group, just like they become one of us. And the main thing to remember to me about a doctor is, remember, first of all, they're a husband or a dad or something. You want to get the family started first. And when they like it, they'll tell everybody. So the main thing is not to go and say, you need to tell all your patients about this. You need to say, I would love for your family to try this first. And then if you would like to share this with your patients, I'll be your wellness coordinator and I'll do that part for you.
Great distinction. That is awesome. Love that. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Is there anybody else that has a question? I mean, she is a book of knowledge, so, and book of heart too. Anybody else have any questions for Judy? Anybody? Judy? Judy? Anybody have any questions for her?
I just have one question because she offered and said, get in touch if you have any questions or if you want to do a three-way. Can I find you on Facebook?
Oh, yes.
Add you? I can add you as a friend?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. It just you had me crying because I was thinking of someone that I got to join when you were speaking so passionately, and she was she's 70 something now, but she was recovering from a really major liver cancer, you know, and she got so enthused because she knew changing her diet. And then when she heard I had this Juice Plus, she said, I'm signing up. And then just 2 months later, I know she was a nervous wreck because her doctor had her go to an oncologist, you know, and but she'd been taking the product just for 2 months. The oncologist did all the same tests that her doctor did, but said, hey, you don't need radiation or chemo. Whatever you're doing, keep doing. So when I hear, you know, how you spoke so passionately, you know, how this can really help some people, you know.
And my name on Facebook is Judy Volker Strickler. In case you wouldn't know that, it's Judy Volker Strickler.
What a last name. Volker Strickler. Okay. Well, I have to write that down. How do you spell that?
Volker.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's pretty German.
Awesome.
God bless you. Thank you.
Well, Judy, I just have one other question, and then I'll let you go as well. So those of you, if you missed, I know I saw some people weren't able to jump on until just recently, just you'll be able to go, and we'll have this recording available for you. But just for those people that have been in nursing right now, Judy, and or you know, for all those people that are a little challenged with what they're going to do now after the pandemic, you know, what would you say to people? How to start the conversation with them?
Well, first of all, stand up for what you believe. Live your truth. Whatever that is, live that truth. And also then, if you decide to walk away, there's nothing better than going from the sickness industry to the wellness industry. And joining us will bring you such joy and hope. You know, I love being a nurse too. I loved it so much. I love the patients. I didn't love the politics. So all I can tell you is, you know, live your truth. If you decide to stay and do whatever they ask you to do, then you'd be okay with that. But if you're not, there's plenty of things out there. And we at Juice Plus, we need your help. We need to get this message out to everybody.
Awesome. Well, I adore you, Judy. Thank you so much. And I was like, what am I going to give her as a gift for being on the call? So I think I've decided I'm just going to give you a gift to give you. I'm going to give you a virtual ticket to our event in January that you can gift to some yourself, and hopefully you'll join us live. But I'll make sure, so the event that's coming up in January that we've got going on, you'll be there. So
all right, thank you.
So much. And let's just open up the mics, and if everybody can just thank Judy for being on. And as you know, we have the Cortese call right after this. I also put, make sure you check out the Facebook page, because on that page, we have a 3-step starter guide that was created. Kathy made it beautiful, and also some quick, things that you can just click on, some templates if you want to use those as well. So however I can help you, we are here for you. All right. So thanks, everybody. Let's open up the mics and just say thanks to her. So thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
Welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.